Hey, what's up, everybody? Chatterbait season is here. Heck, when is it not Chatterbait season? But I'm excited to talk Chatterbaits today. We're going to bang out the 5 best new Chatterbait trailers that you may not have tried this year. All right, what's up, guys? HellaBass here, and today we're going to talk about bladed jigs, Chatterbaits, vibrating jigs, whatever you want to call them, new trailers. The 5 best new trailers that I'm planning to use this year. Some of these trailers are brand new, some of these trailers are just new to me, but I want to show you a couple new soft plastic trailers that I'm going to be using on some of my favorite bladed jigs. I'm going to walk you through the 5 in this box right here that most of them I picked up recently shopping. I'm going to show them to you on a handful of my favorite vibrating jigs. I'm going to show you why I'm excited for each one of these to try them out. So stick around. You're probably going to find some new baits for your favorite bladed jigs. Let's face it, chatterbaits are a great fish catching bait. They're here to stay. They're not going anywhere. They catch fish all year round, especially this time of year in the spring. First of all, before we get into showing you those new baits, I want to give you my perspective on what I think makes a good bladed jig trailer. A chatterbait is really good at creating its own action with the blade and the jig head. A good bladed jig will run true most of the time, but every once in a while it'll hunt or kick or do something erratic, which helps make bass commit and strike. More times than not, that erratic reaction or that hunting motion is what draws more strikes for one bait than the other. So it's all about finding trailers that will have a good reaction to the bait and have a secondary action, but not inhibit the main action of the chatterbait itself. So you want trailers that have some action or no action and let the chatterbait impart that action into the bait. You don't want a big, bulky trailer normally that has a ton of its own action that fights the blade and reduces the action the chatterbait has. Think about it like archery. If you shoot archery, the fletchings on an arrow is what makes an arrow go straight. If you take off the fletchings on an arrow, it's going to be very erratic and not fly true at all. That's what you kind of want from your chatterbait. You want something with very minimal drag. If you want an erratic hunting bladed jig chatterbait, less is more when it comes to your trailer. Now let's jump into those 5 new trailers I'm excited to try this year. I'm going to show all these trailers rigged up on bladed jigs straight out of my box. But before we do that, just so you know, I'm not abandoning my 2 favorite bladed jig trailers, which are the old Strike King Minnow Scrub and the Arsenal Tactical Minnow, which you're going to see still a ton. So for my tournament this Sunday, you're going to be sure to see some Minnow Scrubs and some Arsenal Tactical Minnows on my bladed jigs because those are known provers in their confidence baits. But when I'm out fun fishing and practicing this year, I'm going to be digging into this box and trying some new ones and see if we can add to the arsenal. The first bait that I'm excited to try this season has been out for a little while, but I don't know that everybody's been fishing it. It's the Big Bite Bait Swim On. I picked it up in 2 colors here, Chick Magnet Swirl and Smoky Gold. The Kamikaze Swim On is designed for bladed jigs. That's almost what the main purpose of this bait is as a chatterbait vibrating jig trailer. The Swim On has a ribbed minnow profile body with a really thin, small, flimsy tail with segmented body. There's just a little bit of plastic there, and the chatterbait can impart a ton of action. Here is the Swim On rigged on a Zman Custom, one of my favorite bladed jigs. Great bang for the buck. You can see when that thing is vibrating and doing its thing, that plastic will be just back there quivering, following the motion of the chatterbait, not fighting it. A really small profile, should have a ton of action. I'm excited to try this out. Feels like it'll be pretty durable on the hook. So that's the Kamikaze Swim On, and that's the number 1. If you're looking for any of these bladed jigs, chatterbaits, or the trailers I'm talking about, I'll put links in the description below. You can easily find them. Anything that catches your eye, you can just pick them up. The second bait I'm also excited to try has been around for a while. It's the Zman Razor Shads. This is a bladed jig minnow designed mainly for bladed jigs and chatterbaits, made of the Elastec super stretchy strong material. So these plastics are super stretchy, almost indestructible, high float. It's got kind of a nice little fat head to it in the design, and it also has a segmented trailer which will allow that bait to really move freely behind the bladed jig. The color out here I got is Red Bone, which is a really good looking color in my opinion. Here's that rigged up on a Super K Klaken bladed jig on a bluegill color. I think that looks really good. You got that natural bluegill color with that little white belly, the kind of watermelon red. It's a really good looking combo, I think, and that deep profile does a good job of imitating a bluegill. The thing about these is that if you use a bladed jig with a good hook keeper and a little bit of super glue, like that trailer will stay on, and they will probably chew the paint and the skirt apart before you're going to lose that bladed jig trailer. So it's really close A really indestructible trailer. You're going to get a ton of fish per bait. It's a really good option if you really know the colors you like and what you're going to use. You get that Elastec up on your hook and fish it, and this is a really good bait. You can see that action. It will just sit there and quiver and dance behind your favorite bladed jig. Number 3, the Hog Farmer Spunk Shad Swim Bait. They call it a swim bait, but there's really no swim bait or paddle tail or anything behind this bait. It's kind of a ribbed style, almost like a Kitech body, but it just has a little tiny do-nothing fluke pencil pin style tail on it. These are also really popular with scrounger heads on ledges and things like that. This is the 5.5-inch version, rigged on the Zman jackhammer. Anytime you're on big threadfin shad or gizzard shad or large forage opportunity, this is a really good option. And that tail will just sit back there and dance. The ribs will move a lot of water. It's a really popular bait down south that maybe a ton of people don't know about. It's been out for a little while. This Hog Farmer Spunk Shad, it's a really good bait, and this is something I'm excited to try this year, especially when I've got big shad. My 4th bait is a brand new bait that just came out within the last year. It's the X-Zone Adrenaline Craw. To me, the X-Zone Adrenaline Craw is almost like a Z-Man Z-Craw and a Menace Grub had a baby in a good way. It's a little bit bulkier than a Menace Grub. It's got the kicking action. It's got some of the features of a Z-Craw. But I like this when I want a little bit bigger profile and I want to move a little more water without deterring the action too much of my favorite bladed jig. I want to show you this one rigged 2 ways. The black and blue I've got rigged vertically, so I've got it in line with the hook. This allows me to get my bait to go a little deeper, stay down in the water column, have a tighter action, give off a profile more like a bluegill when I rig it like that. This is rigged on a black and blue 3/8 ounce Clackin from Super K. This will be something I'm probably going to throw on this weekend on the Mississippi River. I'm pretty excited about that combo. Nice profile, bulky, get down. Alternatively, you can ring it flat. And rigging it flat will keep the bait up a little bit in the water column. It'll also give you a little wider profile. So if you're fishing around docks, pencil reeds, tules, brush, bank grass, things that could cause your chatterbait to hang up, having that little bit wider profile will help just make the bait work around some of those stick-ups and things like that. Also, when you have a flat trailer like this, the chatterbait won't roll as much. It'll run a little bit flatter and just turn versus rolling like this, which will keep the hook point from rolling like this and less likely to catch on things. So if you're in a snaggy situation, sometimes having a cross-style bait like this with wider appendages will help you come through cover a little better. So this will help you run shallower and better through cover. So this is the watermelon red rigged up on a jackhammer on a 3/8. So it's something fishing shallower that'll ride higher, and also a really good bluegill or crayfish imitator. The last new trailer that I'm excited about also came out this year, and it's the 6 Sense Flush, which is a fluke style bait made by 6 Sense. If you're the kind of person that really likes super straight, never bent tails, they have a nice clamshell. The Flush is a beefed up fluke style bait. It has a nice hook slot in it. It's got some fins to keep the bait running true and horizontal. But I'm most excited to try this as a bladed jig trailer. We've got some really great colors. This one in particular is the Green Pumpkin Juice, which will be a great bluegill imitator. It's a 5.2-inch soft plastic jerkbait. Here I've have it rigged up on a Picasso shock blade. So I have not tried the Picasso bladed jig, but I'm going to try it out this year. You can see also, if you're looking for a big profile, much like the Spunk Shad, you can get a really big profile with the Flush. But it also has that really small tail with just a little fork and a little bit of bulb on the end that'll catch just enough water and really make that dance. All right, there is the 6 Sense Flush. Great looking bait, should have really great action. Be interesting to see how the durability is with the split belly in this design. All right, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Any of those baits excite you? Which one are you most intrigued to try? Or if you've already fished some of these, I'd love to hear down in the comments. What do you like? Which ones work for you? Which ones don't work? Give me any kind of feedback on these trailers that you've either tried or you're excited to try. Leave a comment down below. Like I mentioned before, I'll have links to all these baits, all these bladed jigs, down in the description below. Hope you guys learned something. Hope you found a new bait that you're excited to try on your favorite chatterbait this year. If you want to learn to catch more big bass and suck less, make sure you watch one of these 2 videos coming up right here.